Hi folks, Steven Seppinni here with my buddy Larry Benet. We're just having a wrap-up session. Larry just finished Sang, was it Sang 4, right Larry?
Sang 4 here in Los Angeles at the LAX Westin Hotel.
Now for people that don't know what Sang is, what is the acronym for Sang?
Well, it stands for the Speaker and Author Networking Group, and it's a peer-to-peer networking organization that brings together some of the best speaker, author, info publishers, thought leaders in the world. We just wrapped up Sang 4, and we had Peter Guber, who is the producer of Rain Man and Batman, and he was the former head of Sony. He's the current chairman of Mandalay Pictures. We had Ken Cragen, the creator of We Are the World, the Harvey McKay, who is one of the top-selling business authors in the last 25 years, including Swim with the Sharks Without Eating Alive. We had Jeff Hazlett, the chief marketing officer of Kodak, and Tony Hsieh, who just sold his company Zappos.com to Amazon recently for over $1 billion, were just some of the attendees that were in the audience.
Hey, wait, wasn't there some bright mind in there by the name of Steven Seppinni? Wasn't he in there too?
That goes, he was there, and he was the smartest of the bunch. For sure.
So now Sang is a peer-to-peer group. Now, so with all these amazing people, and one of the things that I find that people want, the biggest thing is one word, is access. How do you get access to, I had the ability to spend an hour personally with Tony Hsieh and talk to him. I had the ability to talk to Peter Guber personally and get FaceTime. I had time with Bill Bartman, the man who achieved billionaire status, is on the cover of all these, FaceTime. And so most people say, how do you get access to these people? Because my Rolodex from the Sang event just grew, and the amount of deals that I already have in the works could amount to millions of dollars in profit for me. But Sang has, how do I say this? It's not easy to get into Sang, right? You have to qualify. So talk about how people are listening when the next Sang comes up later this year, early next year. How do you decide who can attend?
Well, to me, the number one criteria, obviously everyone who comes is already successful, but we're looking really for what is the value that they will be able to bring to others in the organization. That is the critical component. We normally want them being in business for several years with a certain number of employees, and there's a number of factors, but I would say the ability to deliver value to others in the room probably ranks number one. So to me, that's mission critical, number one.
So some people, I know they're in there that are really well-known speakers. They don't have like a lot of employees, but they brought a lot of value.
I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman there named Dr. Vic who just started his business in the last year since he's left Zappos, but he helped Zappos grow into $1 billion company, and he knows as much about how to leverage a culture inside an organization to grow it. So maybe his revenues weren't as large, but he was a world-class expert at what he does. Therefore, his value or his contribution to others in the room is pretty big, and his ability to give and serve and share ideas is massive. There's other guys in the room that may have a 20 million, 30 million, 50, $100 million business or more. Everyone's there for different reasons. Some guys are world-class internet experts. Some people are really world-class at social media. Some people may have access to capital. So Sang, what we're trying to do is really bring the best of the best together so they can get the resources that they need all in the room and really exponentially grow their business.
Now, one thing that a lot of attendees shared with me they thought was very valuable was that you have a lot of these top people that were speaking, Tony Hsieh and among so many great speakers you had, but it's not like a seminar. It wasn't one of those pitch fests. It was all people actually giving real content and tips on what they're doing to be successful, how they run their business, how they build and manage their brand, how to leverage things, how to become New York Times best-selling authors. So the amount of content was really amazing.
Well, yeah, I think that one of the keys is eagles tend to attract other eagles, right? Everyone. So, Bill Bartman, who normally would keynote his own events, or Brendan Burchard, who I just went to his event. He had Paula Abdul at his own event. He met Paula Abdul at my event like a year and a half ago. But the point is, any one of these individuals, including Steve and yourself, you can keynote any conference. But when you put everyone together and you take the egos out, whether you're the keynote speaker, whether you're doing a roundtable, whether you're on a panel, or whether you are just there, you're amongst equals, you're amongst peers, and everyone is there to try to give, and we try to create an environment, a space that everyone wants to give and help each other, because that's what it's all about. The more they give, the more they'll get. The more they get, the more they can give back to their own customer bases and grow their companies and have a ripple effect throughout.
Okay, so you're known as the connector, right?
Or chief cat herder, depending on...
Chief cat herder. I know, everybody was laughing about that. So Brendon Burchard, who is like one of the only guys that like Tony Robbins lets speak at his events, and he's a real rising star. So from Brendon Burchard to the billionaires that were in the room to New York Times best-selling authors, there was just so many names. So your ability to connect and get all these people in a room is amazing, right? So what are some of the tips for connecting, and for people who want to learn how to connect better, what can you do to help them?
I'm going to give you 3 quick tips. Number 1, obviously whoever you're connecting with, try to learn as much about that individual as possible, preferably ahead of time, to make it easier to have a good, strong personal connection, an authentic, meaningful connection, number 1. And number 2, ask them what's most important to them. If you find out what's most important to others, it'll be a little bit easier to try to ultimately help them. And number 3, simple as it might seem, help them in some way, shape, or form. Add value to kind of what they do. And then repeat process, right? Follow up with those individuals, stay in touch, see how else you can add value to your network. And over time, you'll notice your connections will get more influential, more successful, and you're able to bring these folks together in a way that what just happened here this weekend were probably tens, 20, 30, 40, 50, who knows how many millions of dollars came out of that room, and that's what's possible when you start. 1 + 1 can equal 11.
So do you have a workshop you're going to do, or any products that you offer to people at large to teach them some of these connecting skills, so that they can really, again, the number 1 thing people want is to gain access to people with capital, with ideas, with resources, and by connecting you gain access. So is there something that people can learn from you, and what form can you deliver that to them?
All right, well, number 1, right now, just go to the LarryBenet.com website and get on our newsletter list. We do have different products, and we will have some upcoming events, and we'll be able to share what some of those dates and events will be. I have my Connection Mastery Workshop where we do just that. We teach exactly how I do what I do, and more importantly, we bring the right resources together so you can kind of get what you need a whole lot faster and accelerate the growth of your business.
So how do you spell Benet?
B-E-N-E-T, LarryBenet.com.
B-E-N-E-T, LarryBenet.com. All right, Larry, you're the man, the myth, the legend. You pulled it off.
FOS.
Now, one thing, real quick, before you get up, and I hear your phone ringing. Ken Cragen was there, right?
Yep.
And he's the guy that put together We Are the World,
yes,
with Lionel Richie, and then he just did We Are the World too, and he's done like amazing things. And what he talked about when he got up and gave his testimonial about you was that he said when he put We Are the World together that it was impossible, and the rockers didn't want to be with the pop guys and all this behind the scenes stuff, and he was able to work it out. And what he said about you putting an event like this together with all these amazing people, he says is Larry just didn't know that he couldn't do it, kind of, if I encapsulate, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if like you just go, I think he said Larry is like
too
naive enough to know that he couldn't do the impossible and pull this together, right? So anything is possible. So go ahead and visit LarryBenet.com. Get some tips from Larry. Larry, thank you so much.
Thanks, Steven. See you guys on the other side.